Pakistan and the International Monetary Fund have agreed to maintain a strict economic policy framework for the next fiscal year, with both sides committing to tight monetary policy and a major budget surplus target aimed at stabilising the economy under the ongoing IMF program. The understanding emerged after an IMF mission completed talks in Islamabad between May 13th and 20th, focused on Pakistan's upcoming 2026-27 federal budget, economic reforms, and the broader impact of Middle East-related disruptions on the economy. While budget negotiations are still continuing virtually, the IMF said Pakistan reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining a primary budget surplus equal to 2% of GDP next year. That target is especially important because it measures the government's finances before interest payments on debt and is considered a key benchmark for fiscal discipline under IMF programs. The IMF described the target as essential for building economic resilience and maintaining fiscal sustainability. To achieve it, Islamabad and the provinces are expected to significantly increase tax collection, widen the tax base, and continue spending controls. According to IMF projections, both the federal government and provincial administrations are expected to raise roughly 430 billion rupees each in additional revenues next year. Combined, that means more than 860 billion rupees in new revenue measures are expected in the upcoming budget. The IMF also signaled that fuel-related taxation will continue playing a major role. Petroleum levy collections are expected to increase by another 18% next year despite already high fuel prices linked to global oil market disruptions caused by the Middle East conflict. The Federal Board of Revenue has been assigned a revenue target exceeding 15.2 trillion rupees for the next fiscal year, almost 1.8 trillion rupees higher than the current year. Officials say part of that increase will continue through inflation and economic growth, but much of it will rely on new taxes, digital enforcement systems, and stronger compliance measures. The IMF also confirmed that the State Bank of Pakistan plans to maintain a tight monetary policy stance to control inflation and manage the risk of further price shocks, especially those linked to rising energy costs. Exchange rate flexibility will also remain part of the strategy, meaning the rupee may continue absorbing external economic shocks rather than relying heavily on direct intervention. The talks also covered broader reforms involving state-owned enterprises, the power sector, wheat and sugar market liberalization, and financial sector reforms designed to attract private investment. One important social measure included in the discussions is an increase in Benazir income support program payments. The government plans to raise BISP support from 14,500 rupees to 18,000 per family next year as inflation continues affecting low-income households. At the same time, some major spending areas are also expected to rise. Defense spending is projected to increase to around 2.665 trillion rupees next year, while interest payments on debt are expected to rise further to nearly 7.8 trillion rupees. However, power sector subsidies are expected to be reduced sharply under IMF limits. Subsidies for the energy sector are projected at 830 billion rupees next year, more than 200 billion rupees lower than current levels. The IMF estimates Pakistan's external financing needs next year at over $21 billion, with funding expected from bilateral partners, multilateral lenders, and international capital markets. For ordinary Pakistanis, the challenge will be whether the government can maintain economic stability while also managing inflation, fuel prices, and the rising cost of living during another difficult fiscal year. For more details, read the full Dawn story linked in description.